Hello everyone, this is my first video in English after releasing my very first video in Spanish a few days ago. I wasn't planning on recording tonight, but because I like to play throughout the week, I thought it would be a nice idea to bring the headphones and share some more knowledge with you and some time as well. So in the first video in Spanish I was showing my Supermacro AddOn, which is basically an enhancement, like a program that will help you in many ways, and you can see it in my screen. So for instance, I placed with another add-on the live bar next to me, so I can basically check it. I'm a bit useless, to be honest. Sometimes I don't realize I'm dying, so I like to see that very close to my character. For instance, all kinds of macros. If I go to human form, I can actually cast this spell, and I will get this little indicator, so I know how many ticks of health, the healing I will get. So this is a DPS meter, every kind of add-on. So this one, Super Macro, you will find the links in the description as I did with the video in Spanish, and you can basically unzip them and download them basically in the World of Warcraft folder /interface/addons. Don't put there the zip file, just the uncompressed file, okay? And when you log in back again in World of Warcraft, you will find this vertical button, and when you push, you will realize that you can basically create massive macros beyond 255, in this case up to 7,000, which is a lot, so your coding power can be unleashed. So in this case, for the druid and also for the rogues, you can recycle this ability I will show you tonight. So for instance, going back to the druid, the feral form, the cat, what I want to show you is that sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you, but when I want to attack an enemy, PvE or PvP, and I go stealth, in stealth mode, when I'm very close, if I make the mistake and I push that button again, I might be doing now, oh, I appear in front of the enemy when I was trying to do something different. With this kind of trick and the super macro, although you don't need super macro for this because it's a small, you need super macro because this is super macro language, not because of the length of the code, but script is for super macro. If you try this in the macro option the game offers by default, I'm pretty sure it will not recognize it, because you need to use /cast rather than /script. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the case. That's why you need to have this add-on. So with this coding, 3 lines, 3 actions, only the last one is related to that ability. The 2 first are for convenience. The first one will remove all the annoying messages that you get here all the time. Sometimes they are useful, and I acknowledge, I understand. So actually I created this other macro, so if I push it, I can see again what happened the last time. So this will remove all these annoying messages. The second one, it doesn't apply so much to the druid, because when I cast this, I am in cat form, so you are not expected to be casting anything, but I kind of put it, maybe it's just an habit, because for any other character, shamans, mages, priests, I like to have that when I cast a new macro, just in case I was doing anything else. This will stop casting that spell and will focus on the new macro. Again, not necessary in this case, but doesn't do anything anyway, so I leave it. And the last one, which is the core of the coding, the reason, what it says is that if I don't have the Prowl buff, so which is here, this is another macro that helps me move everything. I think you've seen it here. Move anything. That's the name of the macro. You can basically change everything. It's a bit confusing, And if you change many things, you have to be careful sometimes, otherwise it goes a bit out of control. So I am prowling now. If I don't have the buff, I will get it. Basically, I will cast it. So what does it mean? Because now I have the buff. If I push this or use the button, I don't go out of the prowl mode, which is very useful because I can click it as many times and I will be confident I will not be exposing myself. In the same way, this is doing the opposite. So if you see here, it's exactly the same macro, but if I am buffed, not buffed. So for instance, now I am buffed. So I will cast this, which means if I click this or push W, I will come out. And if I was out of prowling like normal and the cooldown was finished, and somehow by mistake I pushed W again, as you can see here by the lightning here, I will not go into prowling because this is a button only to go out. So you will be confident that you might not be wasting the prowling cooldown, if you know what I mean, if you want to use it for a much better situation. But if you need it, just click the wheel, and you can click the wheel many times, nothing will happen. It's simple and it's safe, and I use it for both druids and rogues. So that's it pretty much for tonight. I don't want to make any longer videos. I have a full-time job. I need to keep a balance in my life because I play to enjoy and I take it very easy. I don't have level 60s. I could, but I prefer to have basically all the characters at level 20 rather than one or two at level 60s because I like the game very much and I like all the characters and I like coding and I like using add-ons. So I enjoy the game as a whole and I also enjoy leveling up. So I decided to basically make this video on the go. I will later translate the first video in Spanish to English, basically to show an ability to buff yourself. These annoying buffs that last only 5 minutes and you don't want to miss them because, again, I am extremely forgetful. So basically anytime you attack, you will be casting it automatically, but that's something for the next video. So good night and see you in the next one. Bye.